Welcome back. In this video, we are going to talk about handling an escape key press event. So let's now learn how to handle key press event. So right now, uh, we can close modal two ways, and the other way by clicking escape button on keyboard. So it should close. So that's a great use case in order to listen for keyboard events. So in order to listen for keyboard events, we still need to use add event listener, because the key press event is simply just an another type of event. Now keyboard events are so-called global events. That's because they don't happen at a specific element. For global events like keyboard events, we usually list and on the whole document. So here we'll write, let me just show you, document dot add event listener, and then here we'll say click, and here we'll say function. Okay, here we'll do is console.log a key is pressed. Okay, let me just go ahead and save it. So we'll go to console. Okay, when we click, key is coming. See here, it is pressed. So when I click here, it is coming here, a key is pressed. Okay, so this is working. When we click something, it is getting updated here. Okay, now it logs to console and gets executed any key on keyboard, as you can see, but we don't want that. We want only the escape key, so we'll know which key was actually pressed. So here we just click right, so here we'll say key down, and then let's save it. So when we click here, but it is coming button was clicked. So when we click on the keyboard, any letters in the keyboard, see a key was getting pressed. I'm randomly typing enter, shift, control, Q, T, Y, something like that. So a key was getting pressed, but it is not getting closed, right? So we want only the escape button to work, not every other button to count. Okay, let's do that. So how will we know which key was actually pressed of this event? Here happens for all the keys. So well, the information about which key was pressed will be stored in the event that is going to occur as soon as the key is pressed. So remember, as I hit any key on the keyboard as a key down, event is generated, and then our list and our function here, or our handler function, is waiting for the event to happen. Then JavaScript in fact generates an object. So that object contains all the information about the events itself, and we can then actually access that object inside event handler. But this time we'll actually need to take a look at the event object in order to figure out which key is pressed. So how can we do that? We'll give function a parameter. So here we'll give a function parameter. Let me suppose say here E. So E for event, nothing else. So you can simply just give C or X, something your wish. So for in this case, I'm just giving E as an event handler. So as an event occurs. So here the E is the event occurs in JavaScript. We can call this function with the objects as an argument. So let me just, instead of this, so let me just console.log e. Let me just save it. As you can see, when I type something here, I press the D letter in keypad. As you can see, it is getting executed here. So when I click space bar, it is getting here. When I click here enter is getting here. shift it is getting. So as you can see, whichever the key I am pressing in the keyboard, it is getting updated here. Enter, space, key D, like this, like letters G, H, I. As you can see, whatever we are clicking, it is getting updated here, right? So what we'll do is, we don't want everything, so we just only want this, only the key operator. So here e dot key we'll type, and then let me just save it. So when I click here, button was clicked. So as you can see, what I am typing in keyboard. So let me just go ahead and turn this off. So whatever I'm typing in this, here it is coming. Okay, so we want only the escape to be our working principle here. So let me just write here. So now that I know which key was pressed, okay, now I can use that information actually to close the model. So let me just write this here inside this function. If e dot key equals to the escape here, okay, we are setting it the constraint here, then console dot log. Let me just save it. So see, when I press the escape, so it is coming escape was pressed, as you can see, right? Okay, so this works here. So this works, but that's not we wanted, but instead we want to close this modal. However, I want to close this modal when it is visible. And how do we know modal is currently invisible? Well, if the modal contains the class hidden, it means it's not visible. When it does not contain hidden, it means visible. So we talked about adding and removing the classes, as I mentioned back video. Then we can also check if an element already has a certain class, and so that is helpful here. Now I can do is, if the escape key is pressed, then we can now check if the model contains the hidden class or not. So here we'll write another if. So we'll remove this console.log for now. So here we'll write another if, and then here we'll write model dot class list dot contains. So here contains means we are just checking it is having the hidden class or not. So here we'll write close model. Okay, let's go ahead and save it. So when we click any button here, so here I'm clicking the escape button in the keyboard. See, it is getting executed. So this works perfectly fine. Now let's read our code a little bit here. So basically, if the depressed key is escape, then the model does not contain any hidden class, then executes this function to close the model. So here what I mean is, we can aggregate these two if statements together. Okay, so here we are writing two ifs, right? So we basically, what we can do is, we can write this in a single line of code. So for that, let me just copy the content inside. and let me remove this. And in here, using the ternary operator, using this operator, we can write, save it. So this project works exactly as we wanted. So I hope you enjoyed. So with this, we are finished with our second project. So I hope you see the power of DOM manipulation. So in the next project is about basically trying and reinforce most of the things that we have already did in this project and to the previous one. And so the next project is going to be more practical one. So I hope you to see you there. So that's it for this video.